the garden tour this month looking at the tiered garden bed behind me. This area was quite a mess when we purchased the house, and it is really transformed into one of my favorite garden spaces. So this area is right at the entrance to the back of our house. We pass by it every day. We have a breezeway where I'm standing right now, and we decided to just make this a tiered bed. And I filled it with things that are shade and sun tolerant, and it's just doing really well. So let's get started. I'll tell you about some of the plants. So here's a look at the garden in June, and now we'll start looking at it today. You can see it's starting to really fill out. So my vision for this tiered garden was to do the garden in colors that will be really beautiful this fall. I wanted it to have a lot of lush greens, and I also wanted plants that are very easy and low maintenance. So this area is located in our breezeway at the back of our house, and you can see the little summer kitchen is attached right here. It was built in 1910, and this garden bed just kind of comes to the side. I can see the garden also from my kitchen window, so I really want it to have pleasing plants to look at. So I've planted some ajuga. You can see over on the far right, the little circular plants. I have astilbes in here, mums. I have some sedum up there in the right corner. And I decided to fill in some empty spots with some coleus. Coleus is such a hardy, great summer plant and just provides so much color. And they're really starting to take off now that we're having some hot days. So those are some astilbes, and those are some heucheras, some coral bells that will continue to grow and expand. When the coleus are done this year, I will come back in the spring and add some additional perennials, some grasses, some more ground cover, just things that will really fill in the space and look very natural. This tall plant with the yellow and red blooms is a prairie rudbeckia, black-eyed Susan, and it's just gotten really tall. Now in this top tier bed, I have a plant called Dock, D-O-C-K. It's a plant that my mother had, and it's just really fun. It's very leafy and green with red veins, and it does bloom in the spring. So I should have blooms next year. Behind it, you're going to see some grasses and also some small hydrangeas. These are hydrangeas that do better in shade to part sun. They're called grumpy old men. And then I have a Lady of Shalott David Austin rose that still has a couple blooms on it. I am going to move it in the winter. It needs to be in a more full sun space. Now I planted this prairie black-eyed Susan, and I really like it. And then next to it, I did some fun mammoth sized sunflowers, and they are really starting to take off and bloom. They're about 8 feet tall or more. So just something fun for summer interest. So at the top of the bed, at the top of the patio rather, at the top of the garden, we decided to put a planter boxes. I didn't want to put a rail, and I thought it would be great to have planter boxes that I can see from my kitchen, but I can also enjoy them up on the patio. So the space has really come together. The plants are filling in, and I think it's slowly becoming one of my favorite spaces. So now we'll look at up at the top of the garden. So we're going to go to the very back, and I planted these sunflowers, and they have just done incredible. I really think it's fun to take something so simple like a bunch of sunflowers and throw it out where you have an empty space to just really enjoy the summer. So next I'm going to give you a larger view of the garden, and this first space is the working garden. So I have 4 large raised beds, and I have a climbing rose here that is finally taking off. And then on the other side, I have a honeysuckle vine growing. So, and then we have this path that takes us down to the more formal gardens. So this is my pride and joy, my dahlia gardens. I love to grow dahlia plants. They take a little bit of care and maintenance, but they're just so stunning, and they bloom from really June until frost. And they're just now starting to really get some size on them and really grow. I do have some that are a little slower than others, so you'll see some open pockets in the garden. They kind of take off at different times. This one's one of my favorites. This is Kelvin Floodlight, and it's just such a stunning yellow. dahlia that performs incredibly well. This is a new dahlia that I did this year. This is the Perennial Dark Monarch. And boy, I've already gotten like 6 or 7 large dinner plate size blooms off of this one, and they're just beautiful. So you can see I have, this is one of the little ones that's just starting to take off. It was a little bit slower. And then on the other side, again, I have more dahlias of different sizes. And they're coming along. They're starting to really thicken up and grow. And I'm excited to see what they do in the month of August. Now around the dahlias, I planted cosmos and some zinnias and some dara and just some seeds to fill in until I could decide what I wanted to do in this space. I think what we're going to do this fall is actually plant some boxwoods and just really frame the garden area with some hardscape items. So that's some of the chocolate dara, which is just beautiful. As you walk across this dahlia area, I probably again will do those boxwoods on both sides, but I've really enjoyed the cosmos. They are just so beautiful. So flanked on each side of the garden are perennial beds and a perennial border. And this is the more formal part of the garden. We also have 2 crabapple trees. So in this far left bed, I have limelight hydrangeas, there's peonies, I've got Veronica growing. You can see a large rose bush in the back. There's just a variety of perennials. My goal with this bed is to have something blooming at all seasons of the year. So there were lupines earlier, there were daisies, just a lot of things. And I'm getting ready to have some things come up that will bloom through the fall. So I'm really excited to see those. I have hydrangeas that will bloom at different stages. Now, I also put at each corner here an antique planter. And this year I purchased these at Lowe's. They're petunias, but look at that beautiful black one. They've just bloomed nonstop. I do have them on drip, and I do fertilize every week with Proven Winners water-soluble fertilizer. But I just really have enjoyed them. Man, they were worth the money. I think they were like a $20 basket, and I've had them since May. So this other perennial bed is very similar. I do have Oh So Easy roses in here in the peach tones, coreopsis, I've got coneflowers blooming, another little lime hydrangea. This is the Oh So Easy rose. I just added that this month, and I'm loving this apricot color. So this is as you're coming up the side driveway looking at the same flower bed. So that's a Rose of Sharon right there with the purple blooms. This is Baptisia, the large shrub right here. It was beautiful this spring. And I did have some Annabelle hydrangeas. They have not done great in this spot, so I'm probably going to move them this winter. And then I've got some various salvia, some other items in this bed, and I'm really excited to see how it grows next year and thickens up. Now this is our patio space, and it's the kind of last part of the garden. This is the space that we enjoy, and we enjoy sitting and looking at the garden area. And I consider it part of the garden because I also have lots of container plants. And it's really nice because we can just sit here and see the view of the garden. So these containers have done fantastic. This month they really took off in July. I filled them with coleus and petunias, and I wanted to focus on colors of sunset and fall. I really wanted it to blend and to offset the coolness of our patio, so all that gray tile. I also wanted it to kind of blend with these perennial beds, which are mainly in colors of peach, apricot, pinks, yellows. So I really like this mix. Now I also have this Black-Eyed Susan vine, which is not my favorite. I don't know that I will do it next year. It just isn't real profuse. It's a hardy grower, and it may just be that it's in too small of a pot. And then on our patio, you can see the planters that I referenced at the beginning of the video. I really enjoy them up there at the top. And here's some more of the planters. I just have various pots. And from June to July, the end of July, I did replant the light blue planter.
I added some celosia, the red flowers, and some more sunflowers, hoping that refreshing it would get it through till fall. Have some rosemary and some caladiums down in my little summer kitchen window box. So those are fun when I have the window open. But again, I've really loved these colors. I've got some, the petunias in there, and the coleus has just done amazing. I have trimmed it back pretty regularly just to keep it so that it really thickens up. Now, this is one of my favorite parts of the patio. It's just a huge container filled with mint. I have about 4 different varieties in here, and it's just done incredible, especially in the hot days of summer. It's just done really nice. It's great to smell it. There's lemon, there's apple, tropical, all kinds of mint. And just another view of the garden. The roses are growing really well. And then this is another large patio container. This one has salvia in it, the annual salvia, and the you just saw bumblebee, just love it. Coleus, and just a mix of plants that's done really well. Here was the garden in June, and then here's some snapshots that you can see just the progress. It's really taken off, and I'm just having so much fun planting and trimming and weeding and keeping up with the space. But we're really enjoying it, and I look forward to showing you the progress in August and how it continues to grow and mature over time. Thanks for watching.